She doesn't test you because she despises you. She tests you because she needs to know if you're real. Every single word that leaves your mouth, every silence you hold, every reaction you give, it all carries weight. Behind each move, there is an invisible question being asked. Are you solid or are you fragile? Are you the man you present yourself to be, or are you simply another hollow promise wrapped in temporary confidence? This is not about romance, not about sweetness, not about shallow attention. It's about truth. A woman's nature is built to detect weakness in the man standing before her. She's not playing games the way you think she is. She's measuring, she's observing, she's dissecting your responses to see if there is substance behind the surface. The truth that many men refuse to face is this. When you fail her tests, it's not just her attention you lose, it's her respect. And when respect is gone, attraction follows it straight out the door. It doesn't matter how good you look, how much money you make, or how smooth your words sound. If she senses your foundation is unstable, she will pull away without hesitation. Women are wired to feel the strength or weakness of a man's presence. That is why every little pushback she gives is not random, it's deliberate, and it matters more than you realize. Most men believe that women want constant reassurance, endless praise, and a man who bends to their every whim. That belief is what destroys them. Because what she truly wants to see is if you can stand unshaken when she applies pressure. She doesn't care about how loud you can talk about your confidence. She wants to see if it collapses. The moment she withdraws her warmth. She doesn't care how charming you can be in smooth conditions. She wants to know if you can remain calm when things turn cold. She doesn't care about your claims of strength. She wants proof, and proof can only be revealed under pressure. This is why tests are unavoidable. You can complain about them. You can label them as manipulation. You can walk away bitter, but you cannot escape them because the truth is, they are not games. They are the filters through which your authenticity is revealed. A man who cannot endure them is a man who cannot be trusted to handle real life. If a woman can break your composure with silence, what will life do when it throws chaos at you? If her words can make you doubt yourself, how will you survive when the world questions your worth? If her distance makes you beg, how will you respond when opportunities vanish before you? That's why her tests are not about her, they are about you. They are about whether you are who you think you are. Every man wants to believe he is strong, disciplined, and worthy of respect, but very few men actually embody it when the pressure is applied. She will bring that pressure because deep down she knows a man's true value only shines through resistance. If you hate the fact that she tests you, you're missing the lesson. The test is not the enemy. The weakness it exposes inside you is. And here lies the harshest truth. If you fail consistently, she will not announce it. She won't hold a meeting, she won't explain why her attraction is fading, she'll simply withdraw quietly and permanently. You'll be left wondering what went wrong, but the truth will be simple. You cracked when you should have stood firm. You begged when you should have stayed silent. You folded when you should have held your ground, and by the time you realize it, it's too late. Respect lost is rarely recovered. The tests are not there to destroy you, they are there to reveal you, they are there to strip away the facade and expose what's beneath. They are there to show whether your confidence is genuine or borrowed, whether your masculinity is earned or just acted out, whether your composure is natural or forced. The question is not whether she will test you. The question is whether you will rise or collapse when she does. Because if you can't handle these tests, you won't just lose her, you'll lose something greater, your ability to command respect in every area of life. You'll lose the edge that separates leaders from followers. You'll lose the strength that draws not only women, but opportunities, allies, and victories toward you. Every test she gives you is a mirror, and what you see in that mirror is not her judgment, it's your reality. Pass the test, and you stand taller than you did before. Fail it, and you reveal the weakness you've been hiding from yourself all along. The first truth you must accept is that women do not believe what you say, they believe what you prove. Words are cheap, anyone can put them together and make them sound convincing. Promises are easy, they fall from lips every single day, and most of them dissolve into nothing. That is why she will test you, because what you speak is worthless until it is backed by evidence. She doesn't want to know how confident you sound when everything is going your way. She wants to know if that confidence holds when you are under pressure. She doesn't want to know how patient you can pretend to be in short bursts. She wants to see if patience is truly embedded in your character. Every little challenge she throws at you is a question. Do your actions align with your words? This is where most men fall apart. They think attraction is about charm, about saying the right lines, about knowing the perfect things to text, or the smoothest way to hold a conversation. But charm without backbone is empty. Smooth talk without consistency is a mask that slips off the moment things get hard. She is not looking for a mask, she is looking for truth. And truth always comes out when someone is pressed, when the pressure reveals what lies beneath. That is why she pushes, that is why she questions, that is why she withdraws. Not to break you, but to expose you. If you cannot stand through her tests, you are not failing her, you are failing yourself. Because her tests are not designed to destroy you, they are designed to uncover whether you are built on strength or on weakness. Think about it. If you can't remain composed when she challenges you, how will you remain composed when the world does? If you lose your sense of direction when she questions you, how will you hold direction when life itself pushes against you? The way you respond to her pressure is not just about your relationship. It's a reflection of how you respond to pressure everywhere. Too many men collapse because they are addicted to comfort. They seek validation, not challenge. They want a woman who makes everything easy, who never disagrees, who never withdraws, who never pushes back. But here's the brutal truth. A woman who never tests you does not respect you. She doesn't believe you are worth testing. She has already placed you in the category of men who cannot lead, men who cannot protect, men who cannot stand firm when storms arrive. That's the secret most men never learn. Her testing is not punishment. It's a form of interest. She tests you because she sees potential, because she wants to know if that potential is real. When you collapse under those tests, when you beg for validation, when you try to argue your way into proving yourself, instead of standing strong, she sees the weakness instantly. Attraction dies in silence. Respect dies even faster. And once it's gone, there is no resurrection. Women may forgive, but they do not forget weakness once it's exposed. And once they feel it deep in their gut that you cannot hold your ground, you become just another man who talked more than he could deliver. So the only option is this: you must learn to embrace the test. Stop running from it. Stop crying about it. Stop labeling it as manipulation just because it makes you uncomfortable. Pressure is the pathway to proof. Every challenge she gives you is a doorway for you to step into your strength. If you meet it with composure, with consistency, with discipline, you send a message that no words could ever send. You show her that your foundation is unshakable. But if you meet it with desperation, with anger, with excuses, you prove yourself unworthy without her ever saying a word. That is why the tests matter. That is why they are inevitable. And that is why every single time she pushes you, you are being given a choice: reveal your strength or reveal your weakness. There is no middle ground. You can talk about being confident all you want, but until you stand calm in the fire of her tests, it's all just noise. In the end, understand this. Her tests are not about her at all. They are about you. They are mirrors held up to your soul, exposing whether the man you claim to be exists in reality or only in your imagination. You can resist them, you can resent them, but you cannot escape them. And if you truly want respect, if you truly want attraction that lasts, if you truly want to be seen as more than just another hollow promise, then you must prove it. Not once, not with words, but every single time the pressure arrives. Here's the harsh reality most men don't want to face. The reason they fail these tests is not because women are cruel. It's because they themselves are weak. They are addicted to comfort, enslaved by validation, desperate for approval. They want life easy. They want relationships easy. They want attraction without responsibility. They want respect without earning it. That's why they crack under the simplest forms of pressure. And when they crack, they lose not just the woman, they lose the image of strength they were trying so hard to sell. A woman doesn't even need to say much to see it. One small challenge, one disagreement, one moment of silence from her, and the mask falls off. The insecure man reveals himself instantly. He starts explaining too much. He starts defending every word he says. He starts chasing. He starts pleading. And all of that signals one thing: fragility. You cannot hide fragility for long. It leaks through your actions. It drips through your words. It shows in your tone. And the moment she senses it, her respect evaporates. Most men think they can win attraction with effort. They believe if they do more, say more, give more, prove more, somehow they will be loved more. But here is the uncomfortable truth: the harder you chase, the weaker you look. Because real strength is not proven in over-explaining, over-giving, or over-trying. Real strength is proven in restraint, in composure, in the ability to stand firm even when everything in you wants to bend. You can't fake that. You can't script it. You either have that foundation or you don't. And when she tests you, she is pressing on that foundation, searching for cracks. And if cracks exist, they will show. This is why men who are secretly insecure, no matter how confident they try to appear, always end up exposed. Because a woman doesn't test your image, she tests your reality. She doesn't care about your polished mask. She cares about what happens when that mask is ripped away. The tragedy is that men will label this as games. They'll complain about mind tricks and toxic behavior as if they're being unfairly punished. But the truth is far more brutal. These moments aren't games, they're opportunities. Every test is a chance for you to rise, a chance for you to separate yourself from the countless men who fold under pressure. And if you refuse to rise, if you cling to comfort, you reveal yourself as ordinary. And ordinary never commands respect. Think about it. How do you expect a woman to trust your leadership if you can't even handle her disagreement? How can she believe in your confidence if you crumble the second she pulls back her attention? How can she believe in your value if you constantly need her validation just to feel secure? Respect doesn't come from what you say, it comes from who you are when you don't get what you want. That's when the truth bleeds out. That's when your real self is revealed. Most men are so terrified of losing a woman that they lose themselves in the process. They abandon their standards, they sacrifice their boundaries, they silence their opinions. They trade their integrity for temporary approval. And then they wonder why attraction dies. But the answer is obvious. She cannot respect a man who is willing to betray himself just to keep her close. And once respect is gone, everything else collapses. Here's the brutal slap of truth. Weakness repels, neediness suffocates, desperation kills attraction faster than anything else. And the more you fight for comfort, the weaker you appear. A man who constantly needs reassurance is telling the world that he cannot stand alone. A man who panics when tested is broadcasting that his strength is only an act. A man who crumbles at the slightest pressure is proving that he is unfit for leadership, protection, or respect. So understand this. If you crave comfort, you will never grow. If you seek validation, you will never lead. If you avoid tests, you will never earn respect. Growth is uncomfortable. Respect is earned in difficulty. Leadership is forged in pressure. Every test she throws your way is nothing more than life condensed into a single moment, and your reaction in that moment tells her everything she needs to know about who you truly are. That's why she will never stop testing, because she doesn't want your words, your image, or your mask. She wants the truth. She wants to feel your strength when things are unstable. She wants to see your composure when uncertainty hits. She wants to know if your backbone is made of steel or paper. And every time you fail, you give her the answer. If you truly want to pass, stop chasing comfort and start embracing pressure. Stop seeking validation and start building self-respect. Stop collapsing when tested and start standing firm no matter how uncomfortable it feels. Because the reality is simple. She doesn't break men with her tests. She exposes the men who are already broken inside. When she ignores you, it is not always rejection. It is not always disinterest. Often, it is a deliberate test. A moment designed to see if you will betray yourself the second her attention disappears. Silence is one of the most powerful weapons she has, because silence makes weak men panic. The insecure man cannot stand the emptiness of being ignored. He interprets every unanswered text, every delayed response, every quiet pause as a personal attack, and so he reacts, he chases, he pleads, he over-explains. He floods her with messages. He begs for her validation. In that instant, he doesn't just lose her attention, he loses her respect. Understand this clearly. Ignoring is not always about indifference. Sometimes it's about measurement. She is gauging your reaction, and your reaction tells her the truth about who you are. If your sense of worth collapses when her attention is withdrawn, then your worth was never real. It was borrowed. Borrowed from her presence, borrowed from her approval, borrowed from the fragile comfort of knowing she still cared. And borrowed strength is weakness. A strong man doesn't chase silence with noise. He doesn't try to fill the gap with desperate energy. He doesn't fold the moment her warmth cools. Instead, he remains grounded. He stands firm in the same composure he had before. He does not beg because his validation does not come from her. It comes from himself. That kind of presence is rare, and it is exactly what draws deep respect. Because when she sees that her silence cannot move you, she knows that life's chaos won't move you either. Here's the harsh truth. Most men refuse to accept. If you chase a woman when she ignores you, you're not chasing her. You're running from your own emptiness. Her silence forces you to confront the parts of yourself that are addicted to constant validation. And instead of facing that emptiness, weak men run from it. They try to escape it with attention-seeking, with over-explaining, with pleading, but every attempt to escape only exposes them further. A woman does not need to hear you say you're insecure. She sees it in the way you cannot sit still in silence. Think of it like this: silence is pressure, and pressure is where truth is revealed. Any man can appear strong when she's showering him with attention. Any man can appear confident when her affection is consistent. But what happens when the warmth disappears? What happens when she pulls away, even for a moment? That's when the truth is exposed. If you collapse into panic, she knows your confidence was fake. If you start clawing for reassurance, she knows your strength was only an act. But if you remain steady, if you remain centered, if you do not flinch, she knows she is dealing with someone different. This is why silence is such a powerful test. Because it doesn't just reveal your confidence, it reveals your dependency. A man who cannot hold himself together without a woman's constant attention is not a man who can be relied upon. He is fragile, and fragility cannot be respected. Women may play along with fragility for a time, but they never admire it, and they never desire it long term. Desire is fueled by strength, not weakness. Respect is given to those who do not crumble under pressure, not those who beg for escape from it. Here's another truth you need to face. The moment you chase someone who ignores you, you lower your value. Because value is never proven in pursuit, it is proven in presence. When you chase silence, you tell her without words that your worth depends on her acknowledgement. And once she feels that, the balance shifts. She knows she controls the dynamic. She knows she can bend you with the simplest withdrawal. And from that moment, the respect is gone. So what is the correct response? It is not anger. It is not bitterness. It is not playing games back to teach her a lesson. The correct response is composure. The correct response is groundedness. The correct response is to remain so secure in yourself that her silence doesn't change your center, because silence does not need to be fought. It needs to be mastered. When she ignores you, she's asking one simple question. Can you still stand tall without me? If your answer is yes, without words, you pass. If your answer is no, shown through desperation, you fail. The truth is, she is not just testing you, life is. The world will ignore you. People will overlook you. Opportunities will vanish into silence. If you fall apart every time it happens, you will never rise above mediocrity. So when she ignores you, don't see it as cruelty, see it as training, see it as a chance to prove that your foundation cannot be shaken by temporary absence. See it as an opportunity to show that you are not just another man addicted to constant validation. Because here's the ultimate truth. If you collapse when she ignores you, you weren't ready for her respect in the first place. If her silence makes you beg, then you've already lost. But if you stand firm, if you stay calm, if you prove that your value is not tied to her attention, you send the strongest message possible. You show her and yourself that your strength is real, and that kind of strength, once proven, cannot be ignored. When she disagrees with you, it is not always to fight. It is not always to create conflict. Sometimes it is a test, a deliberate challenge designed to see if you are truly a man of conviction, or just someone who bends the moment pressure is applied. Disagreement is one of the sharpest ways a woman can measure the weight of your words. Because anyone can sound certain until they are questioned. Anyone can appear confident until their beliefs are pushed against. That's when the truth comes out.